Hello, hello, hello. I am so delighted because I am going to read you a story that I wrote. It's called A Kind of Vigil, and it has just been published in the spring 2022 Santa Monica Review, which is a literary magazine. And here I am, A Kind of Vigil. This is a fictional short story. Thank you so very much for listening. And without any further ado, here we go. A Kind of Vigil by Erin Popelka. The Adelie penguins climb all over one another. I watch from the bench between the penguin display and the grizzly bears, alone, staying out of the way to allow small children with their parents to get a better look. They will only watch the penguins for a few moments at the zoo. I'll sit here all afternoon. I feel better out of the way, a little invisible. I don't need to take up prime real estate. One penguin in particular loves to move. It gets a running start, jumps forward with its chest, belly hitting the smooth, fake rock, and dives straight into the water. Its body glides through the liquid environment, wings pitching in along the way. It goes deep, then shoots up, out, and back onto the rock on its belly. Then it starts all over again. A small boy has taken the best seat at the display. He sits cross-legged in the dead center of the plexiglass, his vision full of the underwater show. His hands are in his lap, but I see his elbows twitching. His arms seem to want to be penguin wings. His mother stands behind him, keeping one hand on the empty jogging stroller, shifting her weight from foot to foot. She's finished watching the penguins a few minutes ago. Now she's just waiting for her kid. If he stays sitting, I'm willing to bet the mother will bribe him to get moving. Ice cream maybe, or an item from the gift shop. But I'm with the kid. Hanging out in front of the penguins all day isn't a bad way to go. I'm sitting a kind of vigil. My partner, Julie, is in Antarctica right now. She's not studying penguins. She's at the South Pole researching neutrinos. Antarctica is one of the best places on the planet to get data on particles smaller than atoms that have no electric charge, that can slip through all of us, through all matter for light years before interacting with anything. Of all the times she's explained neutrinos and her research, one of the few facts I remember is its namesake. Enrico Fermi named them in the 1930s. Neutrino means little neutral one in Italian. 2 weeks before she left, Julie sat me down in our living room. Her period was late. Honey, let's move on. We can go to the picnic table and have lunch. The mother has started the bribery. I was right. She's smart though. She starts low. I brought peanut butter and banana sandwiches. The PB&B lure gets his attention. He looks up at his mother with a glance of interest. Then he looks back at the penguins. I'd like to stay a little longer, please. She raised a polite boy. Julie didn't even think about continuing the pregnancy, if it was a pregnancy. She hadn't yet taken a test. I'd have to cancel my trip to the South Pole. They don't allow pregnant people in Antarctica. Too many risks. I sat there on our secondhand IKEA couch and nodded. It was her body. I truly believed it was her choice. I said all the things I was expected to say as a man, but most importantly, I said I would support her no matter what. I stayed neutral. Still, I sat there, helpless, feeling my heart grow smaller and smaller, like it could get so small it wouldn't feel anything. It would all pass right through. I'd never realized I wanted to be a father before. And there it was, this desire, this yearning, this ache over which I had no control. I wanted to scream, keep it! I wanted to whisper, let's raise a baby together. I wanted to do something impulsive like propose with one of her hair ties twisted around her ring finger. I couldn't sleep that night. I watched her instead, sleeping on her side, one hand so easily rested across her belly, the belly which might carry our baby. I thought about emperor penguins, how the mother lays the egg and the father is on first watch for incubating it. I wanted Julie to leave her egg with me, to let me help it grow. The mother looks down at her son, then over at the penguins. She sighs, loud enough that I hear it even over the cawing of begging blackbirds, which are the local wildlife at the zoo. She locks the wheels on the stroller, pulls her purse off the handle, and sits down next to her son. "Why do you like the penguins so much?" she asks him. He doesn't take his eyes off the animals. He points at the plexiglass. "Look at how they swim." His eyes goes to what he can see of the rocks. "And they can walk. They walk funny too, but they still get around. And they know they can swim like that." A penguin does an underwater twist right in front of him. "Do you want to take swim lessons?" Her tone is gentle. She's given up trying to get him to move. That gets his attention. "Do you think I could?" He looks at his mother. "We won't know until we try." The boy sighs, his shoulders round forward. "You always say that." She laughs. "It's always true." Julie was going to buy a pregnancy test the next morning, but her period started. She was so relieved she acted slap happy, giggling at nothing, joyous about her commute to work. After she left for the day, all I could feel was my own tiny heart stuck in its new size. But I did what I needed to do. I too got ready for work, endured my commute. Julie flew to Antarctica 2 weeks later. 2 weeks where she was consumed by long hours at work to prepare, final packing, and the last happy hours with friends. Weeks where I didn't bring up the possible pregnancy. I didn't want to ruin our last days together before doing 4 months of distance. When she left, I felt like one of the father emperor penguins whose egg had cracked. I consider sitting next to the mother and her son. I want to show solidarity. I want the boy to learn how to swim like penguins. But that would be invasive. It's bad enough I'm eavesdropping. Eventually, the boy gets up. The mother follows. She reaches out for his hand and he takes it. When he walks, he moves awkwardly. He uses too much of his hips. He doesn't trust his legs. One of his feet hits the ground on tiptoe. The other lands flat. They walk slowly away, the mother pushing the still empty jogging stroller. They turn the corner and I can't see them anymore. I get up from the bench. My legs and lower back ache from sitting too long. I stretch and look around, seeing no people in front of the penguins. A rare, quiet moment. My heart pounds. I go to the place where the boy had been sitting, right in the middle of the display. It feels illicit, taking up so much good space this way. It feels exposed. There will be more strollers surrounding me soon, children who have to reach past me to get a good look. I'll be drawn from side to side, moving to allow them space to see. I stand in the middle of the display until my legs get tired. Then I get down on the ground and sit, legs crossed. Thank you very much.